everybody, MuseScript here, and I am in my tiny little reaction room, which coincidentally is a black space. So, today I'm gonna be reacting to, that's why I'm in this room, I'm gonna be reacting to Pinkie Tales' Slumber Jack, or, Sleeping Beauty. And one thing I do know for sure is that one of my friends, Agent Zero Fluffy, will be in it playing as Rarity. Her Rarity is awesome. It is awesome. Anyway, so yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna react to this. So it's done by Magpiepony, and the Pinkie Tales have never failed to impress me, so let's make sure that this one is just as good. I'm gonna be starting the reaction in 3, 2, 1, and go. Pinkie Tales. Turn down the volume a bit.
Slumber Jack.
I love Magpiepony's Pinkie Pie voice. It's so cute.
Story, Poundin' Pumpkin, and it should get you right to sleep too, because it's all about sleeping.
It is.
Once upon a time.
There once was an Earth Pony kingdom called Appalestria.
Oh yes, I think I saw this in the
Had
preview.
one sole purpose: to grow and sell apples, which they would then
Indeed.
trade for other resources with neighboring kingdoms.
All of the
It was
apples.
ruled by a benevolent king and a kind-hearted queen.
Oh yes.
Who longed for nothing more
Pear
than to
butter
have a
and Bright
child of her
Mac.
own. At last, the blessed day arrived when they welcomed a healthy, beautiful, golden-maned orange fur baby filly into the world. A filly that they had named Appalora.
Mom?
Appalora.
Huh? Pinkie, how did you... Wait. You know, every time I get roped into these things, I keep thinking, there's no way it could possibly get more embarrassing. Pinkie, you truly astound me with your ability to prove me wrong.
I think
Yep.
you meant to say goo goo gaga.
That's crossing the line.
It was custom in those
Yes,
days for the
Applejack
birth
has
of
had
the
her
royal
fair
court and
share of
blessed with
bad
gifts from
roles,
neighboring
I must
kingdoms.
say.
Gifts that were delivered by those kingdoms invited ambassadors. It was also customary for their own ambassador to accompany the others so that each type of pony would be equally represented.
Oh, there's Rarity.
Presenting Flority, ambassador to the Unicorn Kingdom, Fabulosity.
One of the heralding
Oh my
trumpeters
goodness.
announced, Flority was a striking white unicorn with a
Flority.
deep purple mane, expertly styled around the traditional ambassador hat, customary to her profession. Her hat, however, had a touch of her unique style, adding gemstones, ribbons, and lace. She walked with her head
nice.
held high, and a confident, though slightly distasteful, expression on her face. She approached the king and queen and bowed. They returned the gesture.
Oh, there's Fluttershy.
Presenting Fluttershy, ambassador to the Pegasus Kingdom, Weathersby.
The ambassador
I
timidly
really
poked her head out
think
from
that
behind the doors
Rarity and
and called,
Fluttershy
waving
and
to
another
sweat
one
forming
would
on
be
her brow
like,
as she gauged how
the
many pairs of eyes were on her.
magical
She whimpered
godmothers
and
or
took a
something
shaky
from the
step into
original
doorway,
Sleeping Beauty.
keeping her
And I
eyes
have
kept
listened
downward.
to
You can
this
do it, Fluttershy.
Fluttershy.
A third voice called from behind her.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's Pinkie Pie.
We haven't got all day. Uh-oh.
Ah,
Sorry.
Agent Zero Fluffy, your voice is so good.
Fluttershy said, timidly walking forward. She was a yellow Pegasus.
And the
with a
Fluttershy
long,
VA is so
pink flowing
cute as
mane.
well.
And
Nice
she
choice.
too had the traditional ambassador hat, though hers was only accentuated with a single flower. She quickly made her way down to the carpet to bow to the king and queen.
It's about time.
Flority said through gritted teeth.
Presenting Mary Pie, ambassador to...
And she's the third one.
Silly Mr. Harold Trumpet Stallion. Every pony knows who I am. I'm Appalestria's ambassador, duh. Besides, I'm almost positive I'm related to the apples.
Wow.
Way back in my family tree. I mean, my family apple tree.
Oh my
I love
god,
a good
Pinkie.
pun.
The herald rolled his
Yes,
eyes
you
and
do.
played a procession for Mary Pie while she bounced down the carpet, waving and talking to
This is
various
nice
members of
art.
the crowd that she appeared to know personally. Mary Pie was a vivacious pink earth
Mary
pony
Pie,
with a
why does that
dancing
remind me
pink
of like
mane.
Mary
Her
Poppins?
ambassador hat looked more like something you would find at a foal's birthday party, with streamers and
Yeah.
polka dots. She bowed to the royal family and joined the other ambassadors with a big smile on her face.
Must you make a complete fool yourself? You are representing a noble and dignified profession, Mary Pie.
Flaherty spat angrily, causing Fawnashy to take a
Oh
few
my
nervous
goodness,
steps
I
away
love
from her.
Rarity's lines already.
Whoa, some pony woke up on a grumpy side of the bed today. Come on, Flority, let's see a smile. This is a happy day. We're having a
Flora,
party to celebrate
Fauna,
the birth of
and
this
Merryweather,
little
that's
baby
what their
Belly.
names
Definitely
were.
baby and
Yes.
lab-grown mare.
It's been a while since I've seen
Of
Sleeping
course she's a
Beauty.
pink. Why make such outlandish
It's like,
statements
make
that
it
are
pink,
obvious
make
to
it
any
blue,
pony?
make it pink, make it
Flaherty
blue.
whispered, just loud enough for the other ambassadors to hear. Mary Pie's ears drooped.
I
and she
really
stood
have not been
quietly
paying
next to
attention. I
Fawnashy,
should
who
watch
put a
it
hoof
more.
on her back with a smile to comfort her.
Thank you very much for coming today.
The queen said with a warm smile.
We will be honored by any gifts you have brought us on this momentous occasion.
The king added.
Oh yeah, the gifts! Oh, me first, me first!
Mary
Just
Pie shouted.
Applejack,
bouncing up to
full-sized Applejack
Applelora's
in a
which
crib
was
is
far too small
beautiful.
for the infant it held.
Exactly how long do I have to be a baby pink Mary Pie? This is a mite uncomfortable.
Yeah, why didn't they just have it as a...
Little thing, isn't she? Almost like she thinks she's saying real words.
Oh my god.
Mary Pie said, reaching to tickle the baby's belly. Appalora swatted her hoof away.
Don't even think about it. We're way past the line, Pinkie Pie.
Dearest Appalora, I come with a gift from your own kingdom. A gift without which
It's
we
dirt.
ponies would be lost. In fact,
It's dirt.
it's in our name. I bring
It's
you
dirt.
Earth, or
Oh,
more specifically,
Earth.
mud.
Mary Pie said, dropping a
Oh
large
my
hooful of mud
God.
onto Appalora, who screamed out in
Oh.
surprise and sputtered out the mud that had gotten in her mouth.
Are you kidding me?
But not just any mud, it's magical mud. This mud is gonna help you grow up big and strong. You're welcome.
Yeah, she's not a tree,
thoughtful.
Pinkie.
How disgusting. Your turn, Fawnashy.
Mary said, bouncing away while Appalora
And
attempted to
Fauna
clean
Shy.
herself.
Well, I guess Fauna is a bit like Fluttershy.
Philly, I come bearing a gift from my king.
Fawnashy said, pulling a small tuft of cloud out from under her
Her
wing.
Fluttershy
which
voice
hovered
is
in the
so
air beside her.
cute!
What? How does she do that? It just came out of nowhere.
Mary Pie said in awe, pulling a bag of popcorn from her mane and offering Flaherty a bite.
Want some?
So, does the cloud do anything special? Ah!
Appalora started, but was cut short when the little cloud created a bolt of lightning that sent a wave of electricity through Appalora.
Oh no! It wasn't supposed to hurt her. It was supposed to bless her with speed and agility. I had no idea it would do that.
And
Please,
also, we
please
haven't seen
forgive
Rainbow
me,
Dash and
Laura.
Twilight in this
I
yet.
know
I wonder if they're in it.
I'd say she was pretty shocked too, Fluttershy.
Mary Pie said, to which the room groaned in disapproval of the bad
Yeah, Pinkie.
Fawnashy kills a little filly, I'll bestow upon her my gift.
Flaherty said, taking Appalora from a distraught Fawnashy's hooves with her magic and levitating her in
And
the
what
air.
is your
But
gift?
before we get to that, I must say there is a rather troubling problem with the dignitaries present to bless the foe. Specifically, the exclusion of another kingdom from this celebration.
Earth, Pegasi, Unicorn. Who was left out?
Alicorns.
Alicorns. Alicorns? Oh, right. This is before Equestria. So there probably aren't any. Well, I'm stumped.
But all the pony ambassadors are present. Who could we have forgotten?
A noble kingdom, just as worthy of your attention and
Wait,
praise, but
is
yet
that
denied
Chrysalis?
it. A kingdom ignored and shunned by you ponies for far too long. I do indeed have a gift for this foe. A gift to teach you pathetic ponies the consequences of your boorish actions and behaviors. My gift is a curse. Before this foal turns 16 years old, she shall choke on an apple seed and die.
Oh my
Sounds like
God.
Some pony needs a hug.
the room erupted in gasps and shouts of concern. The king, queen, ambassadors, and crowd watched helplessly as the foal was briefly engulfed in dark magic before falling back onto her crib.
You know, with all that monologuing she did, you ponies had plenty of time to stop her. Just saying.
That
Dorothy
is
laughed
true,
eagerly,
Applejack.
her sweet dulcet tones morphing into deranged and deep laughter. Soon the Flority disguise she had been hiding behind melted, to reveal the queen of changelings herself, as dark and malevolent as all ponies had come to know.
Ah, yes, the
The crowd trembled in
Maleficent
fear
character.
as the changeling queen descended.
Look upon me, you
Wait, what?
ponies, and remember the day that you...
Pinkie Pie? What in Equestria are you doing?
Oh, it's funny you should ask. See, I realized that I always play the same character in these stories, and sometimes that can get kind of boring, so I swapped.
You what?
I switched places with Chrissy, duh! I want to be the
Wait,
bad
what
guy
does that
for once.
mean?
Seems like a really fun role to play.
So
Sorry,
that
Pinkie, you're
means
not-
She's...
Uh-huh. She's gonna be the Earth Pony Ambassador from now on.
Wait,
More
how does that make
specifically,
sense?
She'll be the bubbly, fun-loving, party-throwing Mary Pie character.
That's, I don't know about that, Pinkie. I mean, she's still Chrysalis.
Don't worry, narrator.
Yeah,
If you break the
Pinkie.
fourth wall, no pony will ever even know. Now, if you don't mind, I have to finish my evil plot monologue, since that's what all the good
I mean-
villains do.
Chrysalis would have done a much better job, but whatever.
And remember the day that you spurned the wrong kingdom. Let this be a warning to all that no pony,
You're not menacing at
princess,
all,
or
Pinkie.
unicorn will be safe from the wrath of the changelings.
Yeah,
It's
Pinkie, I'm not
Maleficus,
buying it.
Queen of the changelings! Seize her!
The king shouted,
Maleficus.
drawing his sword and rallying his soldiers to ready for an attack. She merely scoffed and engulfed herself in pink, I guess, disappearing from the throne before any pony could lay a hoof on her.
Wait, so Pinkie is the bad guy and the ambassador? Ah!
Appalora shouted when she saw Funshy and
Oh
Mary
my
Pie
God,
standing beside
that's
her crib,
amazing.
looking down at her sympathetically.
Oh, now that's just wrong. Pinkie Pie, what did you do?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, AJ. I swapped characters with Chrysalis. So I'm her and she's me. All right, now we can get back to
That
the
is
story.
beautiful.
Aw, poor little thing.
Mary Pie said, reaching out to comfort Appalora.
No. I'm calm. Totally calm. Don't touch me.
Appalora said, scooting away
Yeah,
from
the
Mary Pie's
Chrysalis
wrath.
looks very
The queen
strange in
trotted
that
to her daughter's side
dress.
to calm her.
It fits Pinkie Pie better.
Hold on. There must be something we can do. A counter curse or a remedy. Something. Anything.
The room went silent, no pony knowing the answer to the desperate mother's plea, and fearing the worst on behalf of the princess. When
Yeah,
they did
so-
so, a faint muffled sound could be heard from somewhere outside the throne room.
Does
Oh yeah,
pony else hear that?
Flority.
It sounds like it's coming from over there.
Guards!
The king said, pointing in the direction that Mary
Chris
Pie had
looks-
indicated.
Chris
Moments
looks-
later, the guards appeared again, helping the real ambassador
Chris
remove
looks,
the gag and ropes that bound
Chrysalis
her.
looks so out of place.
Brutish devil mare tied me up and took my place. I couldn't do a thing to stop her.
Lordy!
Why did
Mary
I
Pie
have
exclaimed,
trouble trying
bouncing
to
towards her friend and
say
hugging her
that?
tightly.
How awful.
Faunashy said,
Chrysalis
joining Mary Pie
bouncing.
in an embrace.
Worst of all, she stole my one-of-a-kind bejeweled ambassador hat. I'll never be
Oh, yeah,
able
it
to
is
replace
missing.
something so exquisite.
Don't worry, Flority. Maleficus left your hat behind. She didn't want it after all.
She didn't?
I wonder who's playing Chrysalis.
Why not?
Fair Flority, can your unicorn magic or the magic of your kingdom spare our filly from such a terrible fate?
The queen asked, fighting back tears as she pulled Appalora in her hooves, holding her close. The king joined in their embrace, failing to fight back the sadness in his expression. Appalora's eyes too filled with tears, though not for her cursed circumstances. She snuggled into her parents, relishing being close to them again.
This story is such a strange combination of funny and sad.
Oh no,
I don't know
Pinkie.
what to feel.
Neither, actually. You're the villain now, so such displays of affection should probably repulse you.
Okie dokie dokie. Ew, a tender moment. followed by jokes and puns. How repulsive!
Yeah.
This villain thing down. Now I just
You
need to find
really
a clumsy
don't.
yet likable hench pony.
I suppose it doesn't matter
Ooh,
what gift I had originally
Euphoria's
planned
art.
to give. Now I must clean up the mess left by that wretched mare. Sorry, Appalora. You'll just have to grow up without the gifts of elegance and grace.
I'll live.
And she can't have both because? I mean, who's making up these rules?
I should point out, however, that unicorn magic and changeling magic are vastly different. So I might not be able to counter the curse, but I can soften it. Darling Appalora, you shall not perish when you choke upon that seed, but instead, beauty sleep. You will only awaken from
Beauty
this
sleep.
slumber by true love's kiss. And, just in
I
case
wonder
that
who the
proves
prince is
lie,
gonna be.
the rest of your castle and the ponies inside will slumber too, frozen in time, awaiting that glorious day. That way, she'll be curse-free. You won't have to wait and worry about when that will happen. And she'll have found the proper prince. Quite brilliant, don't you agree?
Flaherty said with a smile. The king looked to the queen, and they nodded in approval and relief, but the ambassador still saw grief and fear in their eyes.
Kissing a stranger or choking on an apple seed. I honestly
Yeah.
don't know which is worse.
Appalora muttered. For the kingdom's sake, the king and queen continued the celebration as planned, refusing to let Maleficus's curse ruin the festivities. However, when the day ended and the pony guests had left, the royal couple asked a favor of the three ambassadors. They were grateful for Flaherty's alteration of the spell, but would rather spare their daughter from the curse altogether. They knew that in a kingdom comprised of apples and apple accessories, that Appalora would never truly be safe. They appealed to the three ambassadors to take Appalora with them, to raise her somewhere far
Yes.
from her kingdom until her 16th birthday had passed. The ambassadors were touched
So
by
she
their
can't
plea and
eat
agreed.
apples until
They
she
fled the
turns
castle by
16.
moonlight, while Appalora and her parents watched with heavy hearts as the distance between them grew, until they were out of sight. The three ambassadors traveled many miles
And there we go.
until they came upon an old abandoned cottage in the woods between kingdoms.
This shall do nicely.
Flaherty said with a smile, opening the door that then broke from its rusted hinges and landed on the floor.
It
I
just needs
still-
a little straightening up is all.
Fawnashy entered
still
the cottage,
can't get
pushing
over
Appalora in a
Chris
too
wants
small
to
baby
get up.
carriage. She
What have
accidentally
you
flapped
done,
her
Pinkie
wings,
Pie?
causing the piles of dust resting on the old furniture to whirl around in the air, making all four ponies cough.
Oh, sorry.
All right, a lot of straightening up.
Flaherty amended, setting Appalora gently down on an old bed with her magic.
I have an idea! Fawnashy, you like animals, right? Maybe you could get a few of them to help us clean the place up?
Wrong story, Mary Pie.
Cleaning
Yeah.
is the least of our problems, Phillies. We have far more pressing matters to attend to. We are living between Earth Pony Kingdoms, and Maleficus is sure to find us once the villagers spread the rumor that two Earth Ponies are living harmoniously with a Pegasus and a unicorn. We will have to blend in. As much as I hate to admit it, I will have to refrain from using magic and conceal my horn from others. Fawnashy, you must hide your wings.
What about me?
You're an Earth Pony already, darling. You don't need to hide your horn and wings.
Solid logic there,
Doesn't
Flaherty.
work
Okie
that
dokie,
way.
okay. Ooh, now let's name the little filly. You know, 'cause everyone will know the princess is named Appalora. She needs a new name. So what will we call her instead?
She's such a little angel. Maybe we can call her that.
We could call her
Angel?
Emerald for her lovely eyes, or
Emerald?
Amber like her fur. Although I'm more fond of the name Opal.
I know! Let's call her Gummy!
Mary Pie said joyously. Then
Now
noted
you're
the
just
confused
naming all the
looks on the other
pets'
ambassadors'
names.
faces.
You know, because she doesn't have teeth yet?
Yes. Well, we simply must agree on something. We can't leave her without a name. Where is she?
She's
Flaherty
gone.
panicked, seeing the bed where she had placed the filly was now empty. All three ambassadors immediately began searching around the room. Appalora was not too far away, sweeping up the piles of dust on the
Wait,
floor with a broom she had
Is
found.
Apple
You
Bloom
didn't expect me
Apple
to just
Broom?
lay around when there was work to be done, did you?
Appalora asked, undeterred from her work. The ambassadors sighed in relief, and Fawnashy scooped Appalora into her hooves.
Aw, how sweet! She's playing with a broom. She wants to help clean
Apple
up. Don't
broom.
you little sweeping beauty, you.
This joke is getting old, Pinkie Pie.
Mary Pie? That's it! That's what we'll call her. Beauty.
Oh, I love that name.
All right.
That
they
doesn't
named
fit
me
her at all.
Pinkie Pie, MLP something.
Yes?
Have you been here all along?
Uh-huh. It's not hard to figure out that 3 ponies pushing a baby carriage are trying to sneak away with the princess. What do I look like? An idiot?
You know, I'm not going to answer that.
Winona?
that-
What the heck?
Is that Winona?
Now she's wearing Corona. Get it? Because Maleficent's pet is a crow. She's my wacky lovable sidekick. Plus, she's a really good tracker. I didn't even have to try and follow you 4 closely when Corona picked up your scent.
All right, fine. Can we please just move past this baby phase of the story? That joke is well past its prime.
Oh, sure thing, beauty. Time
Wow.
skip.
Flority, Fawnashy, and Mary Pie spent the next 16 years raising and caring for Beauty as if she was their own.
And there we
pretending
go.
to be her 3 aunts. They kept a very close eye
Well,
on
I
Appalora,
guess
whom
the
they named
main
Beauty,
color is
and
pretty
she grew
much
to be
the
swift,
same.
strong, and
I
a
still
hard
wonder
worker.
who the prince
Beauty
is gonna
kept the
be.
cottage clean and cared
My
for
bet is
herself and
Rainbow
her aunts.
Dash.
In her 16 years,
And then there'll be
regardless of the
Apple
cutie
Dash
mark,
shipping.
she never tasted an apple. On her 16th birthday, the ambassadors wanted to celebrate it with a surprise party. Rather than keeping her locked safe in the house for one more day, or pretending the day after was her birthday for her own safety, they decided to send her out into the forest alone to pick some cherries. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what they were doing, but Appalora pretended to be clueless and went along the forest path with a single empty basket. When she came upon the cherry trees, she set it down and bucked the trunk. Soon after, a cascade of cherries fell directly into her basket. She walked to the next cherry tree and bucked again. But something much bigger than the cherries was shaken loose from the treetop. A blue Pegasus with a rainbow mane came tumbling to the
I
ground, landing
called
directly in
it.
Beauty's
How did
basket,
I call
squashing
it?
the cherries she had gathered.
Of course. Of course, it's RD. You know, there are a lot of male characters out there that haven't been in these stories yet.
That's the joke. It's comedy, AJ. You're supposed to laugh.
Ha. Ha.
I was taking a nap up there. Why'd you? Oh. Hello there. The name's RD. What's yours?
If your name's RD, why do you have an A on your satchel?
ARDEE. Ha, that's
Oh.
me. But you still
Wow.
haven't told me your name, beautiful.
Apple or beauty? Beauty. I can't keep these things straight.
Apple or beauty, huh? That first part almost sounded like Appalora. You know, that long-lost princess of Appalestria?
Oh
How
my.
would you know that?
No reason? Not because I'm a prince or anything looking to find true love.
Wow,
You
Rainbow
haven't
Dash.
seen or heard of any pony named Appalora, have you?
The better question is, what's a Pegasus doing napping in Earth Pony territory anyway?
True love doesn't know one pony type from another.
Oh
Plus,
my
I
god.
couldn't find a certain special sun pony as a Pegasus. I mean, there was this one with regular glass shoes. And then there was another pony who was half a fish.
Oh my god.
But still, something's missing. I figured that tracking down a long-lost princess would be a challenge, and maybe she could be the
Cinder
one.
Shy and the Little Mermaid. Good
Well, I doubt she'd be
callbacks.
as pretty as you.
Well, you're an improvement from Darling Dash, so that's something.
Oh yes,
You
that
know,
one. That
I've
was
heard
so
this
funny.
Appalora isn't going to be around for another day, but by then she'll probably show up at the castle, so your quest won't be too long.
Appalora said, dumping the ruined cherries from her basket.
Well, that's the problem. There's no challenge in that.
Ooh, is this Party Blossoms art?
Otherwise, what's the point?
I
Beauty
think it
smiled,
is.
But rolled her eyes. She bucked another cherry tree, and Artie followed.
I gotta admit, you're the only pony I've met who actually knows anything about this mysterious princess. Huh. Why don't you and I team up to find her?
And why would I want to do that?
Got anything better to do?
Good point. All right, RD. I'll be honest with you. I am Appalora. So I guess that means your quest was fruitful after all. You see that, Pinkie? I can pun too.
Not bad. Not great, but you'll get there.
You're Appalora? But you're on the border of the kingdom of Cherrysburg.
And yet, my cutie mark says otherwise.
Beauty said, showing Artie the trio of apples on her flank.
Doesn't really make sense since I haven't eaten an apple in my life, but I suppose that's just story convenience.
Yep.
Can't argue with that. All right then, let's get you back to the castle. No, wait. That evil changeling queen might find you before the sun sets. Huh? What's that?
Don't mind that. That's just some pony trying to ruin the plot.
The Pegasus Kingdom. She'd never find you there.
Or in my cottage, since it's about 2 miles that way.
Oh yeah, that works too. Race ya!
Artie said, taking off in flight. Appalora smirked and raced after Artie on hoof.
There we go.
Meanwhile, at the cottage, the 3 ambassadors were scrambling to get ready for Appalora's party. They planned to clean the cottage, bake a cake, and sew a gown for Appalora that she would wear to meet her real parents as a princess. Although it seemed logical for certain ambassadors to do certain tasks, they had other ideas.
Ooh, I want to try sewing.
Mary Pie said, plopping herself down in front of Flority's sewing supplies.
I wouldn't mind trying to bake a cake. It can't be too difficult.
Oh yes,
Which leaves
Fauna
me
had
Miss
some
Queen.
difficulty in the
Easy
movie.
enough.
Flority said, walking to the broom closet. Faunashy pulled Mary Pie's recipe book from the cabinet and
Ingredients:
placed it gently on
3
the countertop.
cups flour,
Her
1
little
cup of
woodland
milk,
critter friend started
3
flocking
eggs,
to the window.
1
So she
teaspoon of
opened
sugar.
it
Yeah,
and
I
let them
can
in.
read upside down.
Oh, hello, little friends. Would you like to help me bake a cake for Beauty?
She
Wait,
asked, to which the
orange
critters
Jay?
excitedly chirped and squeaked to
Notice the
reply.
orange.
I need flour, milk, eggs, sugar, vanilla, and butter.
The last ingredient had an ink smudge, and Faunashy squinted, trying to decipher it.
I think it says powder?
Faunashy said.
I
and her
don't
forced friends
think
went off in
powder's the
search.
right.
But what kind of powder? Maybe I should ask some pony.
Faunashy said, just as Flority walked past.
Oh, Flority, do you know if we have any powder?
Oh, don't be silly, Faunashy. Of course I have makeup powder. It's a
I
lifesaver.
don't
Do you
think
need some?
that's
Yes,
what
please.
she wants to
Up
bake
the
a
stairs
cake.
in the cabinet, darling.
After a few minutes of searching, Faunashy and her friends had gathered their ingredients and were ready to start baking.
That
However,
bee does
Faunashy
not
had
look
failed
happy.
to realize that woodland critters had never baked before and weren't familiar with traditional ingredients. The squirrels had brought 2.5 bluebird eggshells that they had borrowed from the bluebirds. The deer brought rocks covered in lichen. The chipmunks brought acorns. The sparrows brought worms. The rabbits brought dandelions. And the bear brought an entire beehive. Faunashy
Oh my
trusted their
God.
choices because she knew as much about ingredients and baking as they did. She tenderly dumped a spoonful of makeup powder on top and placed the wooden spoon in the bowl to stir.
I don't think this is
Meanwhile,
gonna
Mary Pie found a
work.
bright neon pink dress fabric that appealed to her, and she had wrapped it around her body in a way that she presumed a dress would fit. It draped around her neck, covered her flank, and wove in and out of the holes in her legs, binding them together. She then used her Earth Pony magic from her Earth Pony horn to sew the fabric in place with a small needle and
Yeah,
thread.
to confirm that she is indeed
It's
an
gonna be
earth
even
pony.
more beautiful in this. You know, it's a good thing she's the same size as the rest of us ponies, am I right?
The others didn't respond. Faunashy was trying to put her bowl of ingredients into the oven. And
Ew.
Flority was busy with the challenge of her
I would
own.
not want to eat that
Flority
cake.
looked utterly miserable and covered in dirt and dust. She refused to hold a broom or feather duster in her mouth, so instead tried to use them with her hooves, leading to disastrous results. At that moment, she was reaching with a feather duster in her hoof to clean the top of the mantle above the fireplace. She leaned forward in her pursuit, which caused her to fall face first into the unlit fireplace.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
well done, Rarity.
No matter where I turn.
I mean, Flority.
Dirt! Nasty, dirty dirt! I'll never be clean again!
Appalora and Artie came bursting through the door at the sound of Flority's cries.
What in the hay is going on here?
Whoa! Looks like a storm hit this place. On the inside. I win, by the way.
Artie said, helping Flority to her hooves.
Yes? Here? Not what I look like this!
Aw, but I wasn't ready yet. I still need to finish your dress.
Oh my god, that's
Is that
beautiful.
a dress or a straitjacket?
These ponies raised you? How are you even alive?
RD,
Ouch.
go outside and keep watch for Maleficus while I help my ants clean this place up.
You got it!
Artie said, zipping out the window to keep guard.
Ooh, who's your friend, Beauty?
Mary Pie asked as Apolora took the end piece of fabric in her mouth and pulled as hard as she was able. Mary Pie spun around in a whirlwind of fabric before landing on her flank, looking dazed and dizzy.
Oh my
Let's
god.
do that again.
Yeah, that's RD. He is a prince from Pegasus Kingdom.
Oh, how fortuitous! A prince is exactly the kind of special some pony I had in mind for you all along.
Huh.
Perhaps he is the one.
I thought only princesses could marry princes. Does this mean that you are finally telling me I'm Princess Apolora?
The three ambassadors stopped what
Dun,
they were doing
dun,
and gasped in
dun.
surprise.
How did you know?
I found it in Mary Pie's scrapbook.
Apolora said, holding open the book for the
Oh
other
my
ambassadors
God.
to see. On the page before her was an image of the three ambassadors meeting her as an infant, with Mary Pie's hoof writing in pink saying, "The first day we met Apolora." The next page saying, "First day raising her is Beauty." Flority and
Oh my
Fluttershy looked over
goodness.
at Mary Pie with unamused expressions.
That's
What?
beautiful.
I had to preserve our memories.
Well then, since the cat is out of the bag, we might as well take you back to your castle.
What? Why? Wouldn't that just make it easier for Maleficus to find me?
She knows about Maleficus too?
Apolora turned
Yeah.
back a page in the scrapbook to show an image of Maleficus revealing herself in a cloud of smoke
Oh
with
my
a shot to Mary
God.
Pie in the corner, as if she were pointing the camera at herself when the picture was taken.
Oh, why would you want to preserve that moment?
When I put together a scrapbook, I'm thorough.
You had a camera?
Regardless,
Yeah,
we
darn
have
question.
no choice but to take you to the castle. After all, nothing here is suitable royal attire.
But
No buts! A princess would not protest.
Besides, your own castle would be the last place Maleficus would look. It's so obvious that it's too obvious.
all right, fine. You win. Any sign of her, RD?
Apolora called outside. Artie came flying back in, shaking her head.
Nope, not yet. Probably too scared of the possibility of going up against me.
Oh
Let's
my
get a move on
god,
before she
Rainbow
finds
Dash.
us. Trust me, that pony ain't never too far away.
Apolora said, ushering the others outside quickly to take the less traveled path to the castle. With Artie keeping a close eye on the sky and Apolora watching the trees, the group of ponies made it safely to the castle without so much as a hint that Maleficus was nearby. They entered the castle from a secret back entrance, so as not to alert any pony to their presence. Surprisingly, it didn't take long to find Apolora's room. The 5 ponies entered, and Apolora took a look around in bewilderment. Everything was decorated with apples. The colors of the room were based off apples, and there wasn't a single step you could take without inhaling a pungent apple scent.
And Rainbow Dash
Good
is
thing
eating
my
apples.
Cutie mark is apples. I'd hate to have something else there. Celestia forbid the off chance I didn't like them.
Yeah, that ought to be tough.
Artie said, her cheeks full of apple slices and her hooves full of various apples.
Oh no! Get those out of here at once!
Flority said, exposing her horn for the first time in 16 years and using her magic to teleport them away.
What? What's wrong? Oh, right. That curse. Yeah, that does kind of suck. Those were super delicious.
Thanks for that.
But tomorrow you can eat as many as you want.
And you'll get to see your parents again.
Now, let's see if there is something suitable in your closet to wear. I suppose this one will have to do, though it is rather plain for a princess.
Flority said. Her comment made no sense to Apolora, who thought the gemstone embellishes and shimmering fabric was plenty princessy.
Yeah.
Come on, darling, put it on! We'll be right outside waiting for you.
Flority said, pushing the other ambassadors out the door. Artie followed for a moment before doubling back when she caught sight of an apple Flority's magic had missed. She scooped it up off the ground to keep it away from Apolora.
Sorry, almost missed this one. Also, is it just me or is it weird that your pretend ants want every pony out of the room? Isn't that, like, more dangerous to leave you alone?
Took the words right out of my mouth, RD.
Artie smirked and pounced on the bed, laying on her back and adjusting the pillows to best suit her. She took the apple she'd found and cut off a slice using a knife from her satchel.
Do you have to do that so close? It's been forever since I've had one. Literally. And the smell in this room is already driving me crazy.
Sorry, Appalora. There's a reason why this kingdom's known for its apples. I
Yep.
can't just let it go to waste. Not every slice of apple is going to have a seed in it. You're being a bit paranoid. You just want me to cut you a seedless slice?
Appalora's ears perked up, and she walked out from behind the changing curtain in her new dress. She narrowed her eyes
Oh
at
my.
Artie and thought back to some of the things she had said. It wasn't like Artie to point out plot holes, nor was it like her to tempt her with a bite, knowing the curse was still intact.
Consarn it, Pinkie Pie! What have you done with RD?
What? No. Who's Pinkie Pie?
Cut the act, Maleficus. I know it's you. How does
Oh.
switching roles with Chrysalis give you changeling powers?
Artie's face melted into a scowl. She growled. And in a bright burst of pink smoke, her disguise was gone, revealing that she was indeed Maleficus.
How'd you know?
Pointing out plot holes.
You can't help it. When something ridiculous happens, I just have to let ponies know. That's part of Pinkie Tales. Look, just eat this apple already, will ya? I've only
She's
got 10
not
more minutes.
gonna fall
Mom, I
for
thought
that.
you procrastinated till the last day.
I'm just doing what the movie did. I think it creates tension or suspense or something. No one wants to watch a story where Appalora's curse comes true when she's still a baby. Just eat it.
Nice try, but you aren't gonna get me so easily. Just because the others play along with your crazy stories doesn't mean I have to. Not to mention the
Oh.
fact that I don't think any pony could choke on something so small.
Yeah.
It's practically impossible.
Is that
Couldn't you
right?
have just left it as touching a spindle? Did y'all have to make it apple related? It doesn't make sense.
See,
Well, that failed.
Appalora, these are called Pinkie Tales, not Apple Tales, which means whatever I say goes. And it just so happens that I'm the villain this time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't mess with the villain.
The ambassadors outside heard Appalora coughing and sputtering and burst open the door in panic. By the time they found her, Maleficus was gone, and the deed was done.
Oh no, the curse! I never should have left her alone.
Wait, but if the curse worked, shouldn't we be...
Mary Pie said, before collapsing on the floor asleep. The other ambassadors didn't have a chance to react, as they too fell to the ground in slumber. Like a shockwave,
That's cute! Magpie and
the
Lost.
inhabitants of the castle, including the staff, nobility, the knights, and the king and queen. Appalora laid on her bed in a deep slumber.
Not sure how I'm awake, but here I am.
Oh my
Pinkie's
god.
so-called powers can't affect the self-aware, apparently. Something to do with that wall she keeps mentioning. Regardless, if she thinks I'm gonna play along and wait
Fourth
for
wall.
a prince, then she's got another thing coming. Who am I talking to?
Maleficus wasn't
Ooh.
too far away from the castle, watching it unfold with a devilish grin on her face. She was, of course, aware of Flordy's alteration of her curse, but she had her own plans to fix that.
What started with a seed can end with a seed. Or seeds. Whatever, the pun still works.
Maleficus said, producing a bag of small black seeds and spreading them around Appalora's castle. Almost immediately, the seeds took root and grew into thick, strong black vines with blue spikes. They engulfed the outer castle walls and entrances, and continued growing in and over the castle itself, effectively trapping the ponies inside.
Hey!
Maleficus sharply turned around to see Prince Artie flying towards her, enraged.
No pony ties me up and gets away with it! What have you done with Appalora?
See for yourself, little Pegasus. For my curse has been fulfilled. You'll never get to Appalora or her friends. It's so much fun to play the bad guy.
Wanna bet?
You really
I live for a
don't
challenge. Your
fit that
puns
role,
and
Pinkie.
spells can't keep me away from my truest love.
Truest love? You mean even more than that mermare you met back when your name was Dashy? Didn't she turn into a Pegasus
my.
in the end? So you two could be together?
Oh, her? You try spending 5 minutes in the same room with that mare. She's way too energetic. Sometimes just
Ouch.
downright crazy.
There goes
She has
my
this
ship.
really nasally, annoying voice too. I liked her better when she couldn't talk. You know,
Oh
now
my
that I
god.
think about it, you kind of sound like her. Are you two related or something?
Energetic? Annoying? Crazy? You're gonna regret those words because they will be your last.
Now
She
you've
utilized
done
the
it.
changeling power that apparently came with her villainous position and turned herself into a giant pink fire-breathing dragon.
Oh, there we go.
Hurt and enraged by the prince's words, she attacked, breathing fire in his direction and swiping at him with her claws. The prince smirked and drew his sword, ready to counter her attacks.
A dragon? Ha! Finally a challenge worthy of a prince like me!
Oh, that
Maleficus's
failed.
tail slammed into Prince Artie while he was monologuing, sending him speeding through the air backwards and directly into the ground, instantly knocking him out cold.
Hey, Maleficus! Forget some pony?
Apolora shouted, spinning a lasso in
Oh
the
my
air that
gosh,
was made out of
Pinkie
the
Pie is a
still-glowing vines
dragon.
surrounding the castle. She galloped towards the dragon, taking advantage of Maleficus's momentary state of shock. Apolora tossed the lasso around Maleficus's neck with a hearty
Yeehaw, you big mean critter!
Maleficus roared in anger, pulling at the vine around her neck with her mighty claws, and finding it more difficult to break than she had realized. Already the vine had grown to double its strength, and it wasn't showing signs of stopping.
That's for turning me into all kinds of crazy things in your stories. A wolf, a pig, a monkey, and a clock?
Apolora quickly
Oh
grabbed
my
a hold of
god.
the vine and raced around an apple tree to pull it
Applejack,
tight.
you're
As
awesome in
Maleficus struggled
this.
to get her neck free, she wasn't watching where she was stepping and tripped over the vine, causing her to tumble into one of the castle towers.
That's for making me the fairy apple mother in Cindershy. You gave me that dress knowing full well I wouldn't like it.
Maleficus continued to roar in anger and confusion.
Applejack finally
She was
gets
trapped
her
by the vines growing
revenge.
around the castle, caught by her own evil spell. Apolora spied Prince Artie's sword on the ground near where he had fallen, so she quickly picked it up and faced Maleficus.
That
And
sort of
this
awesomeness.
is for your worst deed of all. Trying to make me sleep so RD would have to kiss me to wake up.
Apolora reared up on her hind legs and tossed the sword directly at the dragon's chest. Maleficus's eyes narrowed, knowing there was no way she could stop it. And at the last moment before the sword struck her chest, she changed back from a pink dragon into a green and black one?
Yeah.
What the?
Oh yeah, that. I wanted to be the villain, but I didn't want to do the whole death thing, so I swapped back. It was super fun while it lasted, though. I almost believed that AJ was really mad at me. She's such a good actress.
She
Isn't
was
that
mad at
cheating?
you.
Are you saying that you would want to see me die?
Well, no.
No.
But don't you usually just capture the villain or reform them or something?
Normally, yeah. But I think I might have made AJ a little too angry. Besides, it's just a story. Chrissy will be back to causing havoc and mayhem in Equestria in no time.
Yep.
Okay, if you say so. Maleficus was vanquished, and her massive dragon body dissolved, leaving nothing behind but Artie's sword. Because her magic had a hand in creating the black vines, they disappeared as well, leaving
Oh
only
my
Flority's
god.
sleeping spell intact.
What?
She's
What
seeing
happened?
ducks or something.
Huh? I did it? I vanquished the dragon! Oh yeah!
Artie said. She took off in a victory flight, and only paused when she saw Apolora nearby.
Oh my gosh! She must be sleepwalking!
She's not
Don't worry, my
sleepwalking.
sweet, for I will break this curse just as I have rid this kingdom of Maleficus.
Whoa
Yeah.
there, RD. That won't be necessary.
Whoa! And she sleep talks too? She's dreaming about me! Huh. How
Oh
adorably predictable.
my
Artie said,
goodness.
cornering Apolora against the castle wall, with nowhere to run from her impending kiss.
Wait, RD, I think your first kiss worked just fine.
First kiss?
Yeah, you vanquished the dragon, and then you, found me sleeping up in that tower, and, kissed me to break the spell. Then you, came back down here, and one of the loose bricks from the tower over there hit you on the head, and you passed out. Yep.
Oh, well that explains it. So why isn't every pony else awake?
Artie said, noting that the other ponies in the courtyard were
Oh,
all still
yeah.
fast asleep.
Because you have to kiss the pony who created the sleeping spell, Flority. But, just on the cheek works fine, I'm sure.
All right, let's go.
So now we're
Artie said,
shipping Rainbow
zooming
Dash
away
and
towards
Verity then.
Apolora's room. Once in the tower, Apolora finally realized why the dragon had changed colors moments before it was vanquished. Mary Pie was a pink pony again, back in the role she should have had all along. She was pretending to be asleep on the floor, but Appalora knew better.
Kissing Flority on the cheek should break her sleeping spell since she was the one who created it.
Yeah, I know, I get it. We just talked about it outside.
Although I
Just
don't
making sure
think
every pony
it
knew how this
is.
should work.
Actually,
Appalora
no, it
said,
is. Yeah,
spying
she was
Mary
the one
Pie
who did
secretly
create the
winking in
sleeping
her
spell.
direction. Artie planted a small
Man,
peck
I'm
on
such a
Flority's cheek,
dup.
and the spell started reversing itself, waking the sleeping ponies in the castle.
Oh, Appalora, you're all right.
Faunashy said, rubbing her eyes.
Thank goodness.
Hey, why isn't that third pony awake yet?
Artie asked, pointing to Mary Pie, who was still asleep, supposedly. Appalora was confused
Your
for a
cover's
moment.
gonna be
Then the
blown.
realization hit her.
I think Mary Pie needs a kiss too.
Oh, okay.
Artie
Okay,
said,
back
and
to
without
the
a
ship.
moment's
Back to
hesitation,
the
she
Pinkie
gave Mary
Dash.
Pie a peck on the
Give
cheek.
me this.
Mary Pie bounced up from the floor joyously.
See, there was a true love's kiss in here after all. And
Oh
I didn't even
my
have to be the
goodness.
princess this time. The end.
Well, that
Sure,
happened.
there was another page in there about tying up loose ends and Appalora seeing her parents again. But there was a chance that
Yeah.
RD was going to declare his love for some pony else, and I wasn't about to let that happen. Oh, hey, I just realized the only pony who didn't slumber in that whole story was Applejack. Remember? Because in one scene,
Oh,
RD
yeah.
taking a nap in the
Twilight
chair,
wasn't even in
and
the
Florida
story.
spell
Ha!
and everyone else later. Looks like the Cake Twins might still be under that spell. See you all next time for more Pinkie Tales.
I'll be there. Alright, there we go. We've got the credits. Art by these people. Do. Yeah, it was Party Blossom's art. Nice. Married a pony. I figured Agent Zero Fluffy, Imi for to I can't pronounce your name. Next time, what is next time? Sky Blue and the Seven Colors. Are we finally getting a Rainbow Dash scented one? Yes! I finally hit the jackpot! Ah! I'll just wait for the video to end and then I can fangirl even more. Waiting patiently. There we go. Ah! So Sky Blue and the Seven Colors. So we actually do have a Rainbow Dash scented one next time. Just give me a moment to fangirl even more. Oh my god, we have a Rainbow Dash scented one! And I'm not just a prince this time! Yeah! So, I'm looking forward to that. That should be exciting. Seven colors, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But, well, that was not what I expected at all. It was very funny, and Agent Zero Fluffy did an awesome job as Rarity. Her lines was so funny. Oh my god. Yeah. So, yeah, nice work, everyone who worked on this production, and I am actually looking forward to the next Pinkie Tales because it's centered around Rainbow Dash, aka Best Pony. According to me, anyway, because I'm like, on my channel art, I have the biggest love for Rainbow Dash and Tank, yeah, yada yada yada. So I think I'm gonna end the video there. This has gone on for long enough. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my reaction, and be sure to subscribe to Magpiepony if you haven't already. Her Pinkie Tales are amazing. Bye! This is MuseScript signing out.
The school of friendship is for all of us, a place where we belong, where we all learn to share and trust.